What if the true revolution in Lakers basketball isn't happening under the bright lights of the Staples Center, but in the shadows of boardrooms miles away? What if the winning plays of tomorrow are scripted not by coaches or players, but by a quiet titan who's rewriting the definition of power with a pen and a checkbook? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this unfolding drama. Lakers Nation, buckle up, because what's brewing right now is a tectonic shift so seismic, it has the potential to reshape the very DNA of our team, and maybe the entire landscape of professional sports as we know it. Think you know who's calling the shots in LA? Think again. There's a new mastermind moving pieces behind the scenes, someone who slipped quietly into the picture over the last few years, but who now stands ready to turn the Lakers into a fortress of dominance that may never be broken. A man born far from the glitz of Hollywood, a governor of legacies, a builder of empires, not just in basketball, but in the sport universe at large. Mark Walter, a name etched deep into the Dodgers' golden run. A visionary billionaire whose reach now wraps its colossal fingers tightly around the Lakers franchise, marking an end to over 4 decades of Buss family stewardship. The Buss era with all its triumphs, tragedies, and turmoil is quietly exhaling its last breath. Jeannie Buss, whose tenure was nothing if not a crucible of resilience, remains in the picture, still holding the reins as team governor, but the pulse of power is shifting. It's a passing of the torch that feels less like a ceremony and more like a seismic power grab. This isn't just ownership changing hands, it's a statement that the Lakers are ready to be redefined, recharged, and resurrected. Pause and consider this $10 billion. $10 billion to seize a controlling stake in one of the most storied franchises in NBA history. For context, that's more than enough to buy a global shoe empire with millions of customers worldwide. Yet Walter chose the Lakers, a brand that sells dreams far more than products. This deal doesn't merely set a new bar for sports valuations. It signals a new era of what dominance looks like in the NBA. Walter is no ordinary billionaire. His money is backed by a track record of transforming franchises. Remember the Dodgers. In 2012, many scoffed when Walter's group paid a staggering $2.15 billion. Magic Johnson himself had doubts. Yet, under Walter's stewardship, the Dodgers morphed into an $8 billion juggernaut crowned by multiple National League championships and 2 World Series titles. The blueprint is clear. The Dodgers are no longer a ball club. They're a global brand, a media powerhouse, a dynasty. Now, the Lakers are primed to follow suit. And the man behind this isn't interested in half measures. He's not here for lip service or nostalgia. He's here to establish an empire. His portfolio extends far beyond Los Angeles basketball Chelsea FC in the Premier League. The WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks, major stakes in motorsports including Formula One teams NASCAR and endurance racing. Walter's vision? Build an interconnected sports juggernaut that dominates across continents, leagues, and digital screens. Imagine a world where Lakers and Dodgers games aren't just broadcast but bundled, streamed, consumed to a singular media platform owned by his network. That's the future he's engineering. But here's the heartbreaking contrast. The Lakers he's acquiring have been wrestling with inconsistency and missed chances. The painful near misses and front office missteps under Jeannie Buss's watch still sting. Sure, she led the team to that historic 2020 championship in the Orlando bubble, and that was no small feat in a tumultuous era. She became the first female controlling owner to hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy. But Lakers fans blessed with the legacy of Showtime and the glory of titles past weren't satisfied. The team that signed LeBron James and later brought in Luka Doncic carries the weight of sky-high expectations. Yet injuries, roster instability, coaching wipeouts, and strategic stagnation eroded faith. The Lakers didn't just stumble. they often looked like they were running in place. Signings like letting Alex Caruso slip away, or what some call penny pinching and passing on Tyronn Lue because of contract wrangling, left a sour taste. How did a billion-dollar franchise allow these cracks? Now, the new ownership is wielding deep financial might, backed by Guggenheim Partners, TWG Global, and Abu Dhabi's Mubadala Capital. Money flows where vision leads, and the Lakers' new custodian clearly sees a championship not just as a dream, but an inevitable outcome. No half steps, no settling. The narrative is shifting from cautious rebuild to all-out assault. This brings U.S. to the heart of the latest saga, basketball's most critical arena, the paint. After landing a superstar almost too good to believe in Luka Doncic, the Lakers found themselves without a true starting caliber center, the anchor who can safeguard the rim, crash the boards, and open up endless pick-and-roll opportunities. The buzz, the whispers, the silent hum in front office circles all point to one name topping the wish list: Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz. At just 22 years old, Kessler is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate in the making, a mobile, high-energy shot blocker who could provide the Lakers with the rim protection and toughness they've desperately lacked. And make no mistake, this is no casual inquiry. The Lakers have reportedly made a formal trade offer to the Jazz. Multiple draft picks are on the table, signaling a serious commitment. But the question lingers, will Utah's elusive, calculating general manager Danny Ainge, known for his hardball tactics and zero generosity towards L.A., budge? Ainge's reputation precedes him, one who doesn't hand out favors, especially not to rivals with rings on their mind and banners in their sights. And here's the dilemma: the Lakers' assets are limited. They control just one future first-rounder, with pick swaps and mid-level contracts as currency. The complex ballet of NBA salary cap rules tightens every move. Could these chips be enough to convince Ainge? Will the Jazz play the waiting game for a better offer, or orchestrate another blockbuster that frees Kessler into the trade market? Meanwhile, other candidates linger in the shadows: young, athletic big men like Mark Williams from Charlotte or Nick Claxton in Brooklyn, but they don't fit the blueprint laid out by Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office. This isn't about patchwork or stopgaps. It's about finding a cornerstone, someone to complement Luka's playmaking and seal a defensive identity that has been missing in purple and gold for too long. The implications are staggering. If the Lakers pull this off, it could be less about a single season and more about the dawning of a new Lakers dynasty. A franchise that doesn't just chase playoff spots but chases banners with precision, power, and purpose. Yet, at this moment, everything hangs in a delicate balance. The final phone call yet to be answered. The outlines of a deal still uncertain. For fans, for the team, and for the legacy that these glamorously daunting purple and gold jerseys represent, this is a pivot point. As a lifelong Lakers fan, it's impossible not to feel the pulse quicken, the hope swell, and the anxiety clutch. Will this be the dawn of an unstoppable Lakers resurgence, built not just on star power, but on strategic genius, financial muscle, and defensive steel? Or is it the latest page in a saga of promise, frustration, and unfinished business? Lakers? Nation, what do you think? Are we on the cusp of rebuilding a dynasty worthy of the Showtime lineage, or merely shifting decks in a gamble that might leave us longing once again? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading every one. All right, Lakers fam, before I drop straight fire on what this all means, I need every single one of you to hit that ruthless commentator mindset right now and channel every ounce of frustration, hope, and pride you've ever felt wearing. Purple and gold like you just got that last-minute L snatched away in the playoffs, or like you're about to see your whole Lakers life flash before your eyes, because this might just be the jump-off we've been begging for. Now, strap in, because the ripples from this potential Kessler trade and Walter's dominance behind the scenes could break every old Lakers script and leave our rivals scrambling to catch up. But it won't be without more heart-twisting tension, late-night what-ifs, and the kind of edge-of-your-seat roller coaster that only Lakers fans know too well. Think about LeBron, yeah. The Kings' twilight years have been one heck of a saga. He's been carrying this franchise like it's a newborn, fighting off injuries, media noise, and relentless expectations that only the Lakers can impose. But what if with Kessler's rim-shredding defense and Luka's uncanny ability to run the floor like a maestro, LeBron finally gets to breathe, to offload some of that grind? What if AD steps away from playing the sole protector role and slides into pure offensive dominance, the unstoppable force we always dreamed he'd be when fully healthy? That synergy, that triangle of greatness with Bronny learning from the best right in front of him, and Austin Reeves blossoming into the unbreakable heart of this team. It's like planting the seeds for a purple and gold dynasty that doesn't fold when the game's on the line. Jeannie Buss still holding the governor's seat, standing guard over a franchise soaked in history, but with Mark Walter's billion-dollar war chest backing every move. We're talking about a front office with the muscle, the media savvy, and the global connections to stop settling for playoff appeasement and start building legacies, real ones, not boutique ones. And you better believe this changes the culture in the locker room with money and vision fused tight. The Lakers become a magnet for star talent who want more than just rings, they want brand, history, and a winning blueprint that Walters, proving the craft from the Dodgers to Chelsea to every racing circuit his empire touches. Picture it. A team where every game is a high-stakes showcase, where the locker room hums with confidence instead of anxiety, where the players don't just chase regular seasons, but carve a path defined by championships, resilience, and purple and gold. Pride that echoes from Showtime's 80s zenith all the way through the painful, breathtaking bubble run of 2020. Because let's be real sometimes, it's the heartbreaks that fuel the fire. The 2010 title felt like the dawn of a new age, with Kobe's killer instinct and Pau Gasol's basketball IQ blending like silk and steel. Then the 2020 bubble champs reminded us that even in adversity, the Lakers can find a way to rise. But post-2021, the plateau and stumbles missing playoffs, bad signings, internal drama that felt like watching a storm build without the thunder finally breaking. Now add in the seismic power play of Walter's multi-billion-dollar takeover. It's like the Lakers just force all the other players at the poker table to fold or shuffle nervously in their seats, watching those purple and gold chips pile higher and higher. The Warriors? They've got their Steph and KD combo, but aging stars and injuries lurk in their shadows. The Nuggets might have Jokic's brilliance, but is the supporting cast enough? The Suns and Mavs pushing hard, sure, but when the Lakers bankroll starts swinging, suddenly every West contender has to up their game or fade into the chase. Imagine if the Jazz finally pulled a trigger on that Kessler deal. How do you replace a 7-footer who protects the paint with the ferocity of a lion? That buy low, build high mentality might just be the spark that sets the Lakers apart for the next decade. But if Aang holds firm, or the pieces we give up to get Kessler turn into lottery misses, what then? Is this another pulse-racing gamble that leaves us replaying the what-ifs in our heads come May? It cuts deep, doesn't it? This isn't just basketball. This is the soul of an organization, the dreams of a fan base that grew up under Jerry West's cold stare and Phil Jackson's Zen master style, that lived through the highs of Shaq and Kobe, dominance, and that now always waits for that next chapter to be written in bold, unforgiving ink. The pressure on Bronny, on Reeves, on Doncic to justify these stakes? Unbelievable. But what if they rise together? A new constellation blazing in the LA sky. As a Laker till the day I die, here's how I see it. What's unfolding right this second isn't just another ownership handoff or a trade rumor. It's the ignition of a revolution. This franchise is standing at a crossroads between fading into nostalgic lament and roaring back as the defining superpower of this generation. Walter's billions aren't just money. They're thunderclaps echoing through the halls of Staples, rattling every rival, challenging every player on the roster to either step up or step off. We're watching history in the making, Lakers fans, not the kind that writers someday just glance at with polite reverence, but the kind where future purple and gold warriors will look back and say, that's when the fire started. So, drop your thoughts below. I want to hear every scrap of hope, every scathing doubt, every bold prediction from the fiercest believers in purple and gold. This is our moment. Grab hold of it, scream it loud, and never, ever let this flame die. Out.